In this video, I discuss common challenges and issues in document control. One fundamental document control challenge in most organizations comes from viewing document control from a cost center perspective rather than a strategic asset to the organization. Obviously, that will result in a resource-constrained document control function or department. And that is why in some organizations, the document control department is usually understaffed. So you will find one document controller handling tasks that should otherwise have been handled by two or even more document controllers. Another common example of cost perspective related issue is top management hesitation to make an upfront investment in an EDMS. EDMS is the acronym for Electronic Document Management System or software. Basically, that is any software that can help to streamline the document control processes. So going back on the issue of management hesitation to make an upfront investment in such document control resources, you will discover in the future that such organizations will struggle with locating documents or migrating thousands of legacy files to an EDMS they purchase either in a hurry, perhaps at the middle of a documentation crisis or need. Absence of dedicated document control custodian. This is significant because any sizable company that frequently updates its work documents and lack a dedicated document control custodian will eventually face documentation challenges, chaos, and inefficiencies. Major issues that will arise will include lack of centralized documentation, official document will sit in personal hard drive or desktop, and different versions of documents will be distributed from person to person rather than from a dedicated document control center. Client and contractor disputes. A common challenge frequently encountered in project-related document control settings is the dispute between the client and the contractor over incomplete documentation, incorrectly formatted documentation, and unsatisfactorily packaged project document deliverables. This type of challenge often arises if the input of the document control office or position was not consulted during the listing of the contract requirements regarding the control of documents or in the project kickoff meeting, KOM. Kickoff meeting is the first official meeting between the client and the contractor after the contract has been signed. Alright, the consequences of such omission is that the client's document control requirement may not be fully gathered, documented, and agreed upon with the contractor. In fact, in some instances, document control requirement may be completely overlooked until the project execution or closeout phase when documentation issues begin to emerge. Poorly crafted or undocumented procedure. That is the existence of poorly written document control procedures or lack of any documented procedures. Some document control procedures are overly stringent, complex, and filled with ambiguous or undefined technical jargons, and this will lead to inconsistency. So it is not enough to merely have a document control procedure. It should be clear enough for users to apply the rules effectively. A similar challenge to poorly drafted or undocumented procedure is strategic misalignment. That is, when an organization deploys a generic or copy-paste strategy without aligning it or tailoring it to their company's objective. The result? Of course, users will struggle to align their processes with the strategy rather than adapting the strategy to their processes. So even if you obtain a procedure from another source, it should serve as a starting point to guide you in customizing it to your needs. Unintended use of obsolete documents. The unintentional use of obsolete documents is one aspect where costly document control issues arise. This typically occurs when outdated documents are used for tasks such as purchasing, fabricating, or constructing equipment or facilities. The obvious consequences? Of course, rework, delays, and additional expenses. To keep the video short, let me list some miscellaneous errors and discrepancies in document control. Issuing documents with incorrect identification numbers or revision status. Overlooking the inclusion of required signatures before releasing documents. Sending documents to incorrect recipients. Sending emails with grammatical errors and misspellings. Attachment oversight, that is neglecting to attach files within documents where it is stated or including the mentioned attachments in emails. Template alterations or intentional modification of document templates by document originator is a common challenge we encounter as a document controller. And this is where the skill to support team members on how to becomes handy. Then we have willful violation of document control rules. This refers to personnel outrightly refusing to adhere to established procedures. And this is where the skill to enforce the applicable rules comes into play. Delay in review and approval of documents. This usually results from stakeholders taking too long to review and approve documents. Finally, we have lengthy revision cycles or revision system. This issue arises from procedures or strategies with longer iterative review philosophy that is requiring a document to go through necessary series of review cycles before it can be ready for use. Alright, that will do it for this video. If you like the content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. My name is Olaris. See you again next time. Bye.